Hello, mindful friends. Today we're going to be talking about aligning with our heart and why I hold this at the very center of our practice and why it is the title of my first book, Living from the Heart. So as we approach the new year, this is a great time to reflect on this and to return to these core intentions of our practice, which really is reconnecting with, understanding, listening to, honoring, and then living from our true heart's values. And we're going to look at what does that actually mean. So what does it mean to live from your heart? And sometimes when I lead into these meditations, my clients will say things like, I can't feel my heartbeat, or it's really hard for me to connect with my heart. And what I say is that it's not necessarily that organ at the center of your chest, that it's really, I kind of feel that energy culminating in the heart center, which is just this kind of center core of your being where your life force is, all the energy returns to, also where your breath is. So when we're reconnecting with the heart, part of our practice and our breathing exercises naturally brings us back into this center of our being. So the focusing on the breath is part of that, coming back home to this core center. And when we start focusing on the heart, we can use that breath and feeling the expansion of the breath in this center of our being and feeling that life force and recognizing that this is the place, right? That breath is where we come back to find center, to reconnect with our calm, our peace, our true intentions, and that's where all of this lies. And the breathing in and breathing out is what helps us to kind of remove ourselves from the chaos of the day and the world and all of our stresses, and to return home. I always call it home because it's this place within you that's that safe space that you always have within you to return to find peace, comfort, and ease. And that the stronger we build our practice to be able to find that core and that center through breath, through settling practices, through presence practices, that the more capable we become of residing in this heart center of ourselves, in this true being, where we're not acting out of fear and anger and pressures of society and all of our stories, but that we really calm back down, return to peace. And I picture all of that like coming back into this heart center where truth resides. And so when I'm getting clients to do this and we're using, the start of it's all those settling practices and recentering practices that help you find that internal calm and peace. And as that strengthens, we're strengthening our ability to reconnect with this heart center. And once we're there, you get that kind of centered feeling, that's where you start listening and being able to honor what you hear there at heart center. And that this is where, we ask the questions of, what is it that your heart values most? And right, we have a hard time hearing this if we're distracted by, well, I wanted that new car, I wanted that promotion, or that raise. Those are external, that's not heart-centered. So you have to do the recentering practices first that break through all of those so that you can return to that center and really listen. So when you ask that question, what does the heart value most? It's not all those material things or image things or ego things. It's really the center of what brings happiness and joy. And I always attach these to kind of characteristics, to qualities, to energies that you're cultivating within yourself. And for me, they're the 5 of, love, compassion, peace, acceptance, and gratitude. And that I know that if I'm cultivating those and focusing on those, that's the source of true happiness and joy and purpose out in life. So that's really life-giving force. Those are the most powerful energies in my practice and kind of my energy. And so we ask that, what does the heart value most? What does it most want to prioritize? So same thing here. What do you actually want to be spending your energy and time on trying to cultivate? What are you wanting to cultivate that you want to share out with the world? That's you grow it within you so that you can be that presence out in the world, can emanate from you to others. You become a source of it. And then who do you want to be out in the world? How do you want to show up for yourself, others, and the world? This is not, I want to be all controlling and all powerful and the head of all things. This is, what kind of person do you want to be when people are around you? What do you want them to experience? And again, for me, it's those same energies: love, compassion, peace, acceptance, gratitude. That's the kind of presence I want to be in the world. And so when we're returning to our intentions for our practice, why I keep this heart at the center is it's our motivation, our guiding light, and our teacher in the whole process of mindfulness. So when we're developing our practice, we're looking and observing, what do I act like when I'm living from heart center? How do I show up? How do I speak? How do I move? How do I carry myself? How do I treat others? What does it feel like in my body? What kind of thoughts am I manifesting? And we want to become very aware as well. What does it feel like when I'm not so aligned with the heart? You can feel that detachment where you're getting further away from heart center, from who you really want to be. And then our intention of the practice is to notice, well, what serves us in a way that keeps us at heart center, that keeps us there in the person we really want to be. And that our mindfulness practice is one of the key components of being able to do that with the awareness that it offers us. So it keeps us returning again and again to our practice, that this is what helps me to stay aligned. And then every choice, hopefully, in our lives, we're looking at, does this bring me closer to heart center, to who I really want to be, or further away? And it's that mindful presence and awareness that helps you notice that at each moment and keeps you motivated to make those choices that align with heart, so you can live from the heart. And the reason this is so important is that I know when you are living from the heart, that is your true well-being, your happiness, your purpose, your peace is there. And so we're recognizing that and saying, well, everything that I say, do, think, if it aligns with the values of the heart, then it becomes so much easier for me to live in well-being, in this peace and practice. And so when we're cultivating this energy, we're thinking, well, this is our motivation to keep practicing, because we know that it brings us where we want to be. It gives us a really great way of living. It feels amazing. It's like flow state. If you're an athlete, it's like flow state of life is living from the heart. So it keeps us motivated to do it, but also, like I said, is our guiding light. That's where we redirect ourselves, our lighthouse. If we're veering far away, we're noticing what it feels like in our body. We're saying I'm getting further away from the heart. And that kind of recognition helps guide us in our choices in life. And that these intentions are what help us to stay the path that benefits us the most, that serves us the most, and which then serves the world around us. Because we're able to be this positive presence in the world around us. So when you're engaging in your mindfulness practice and as you're moving into the new year, I encourage you, please return to the heart. Don't focus so much on resolutions, goals, but come back to your intentions and realign with your heart's values. And if you guys need help with this or want to just, you want to share it with others, the experience, let's all get heart-centered together. I am leading a whole 4-hour workshop February 3rd. So we can go through this process together with guided meditations, silent meditations, some journaling practices, walking meditations, to enter into this beginning of the year with the intent to align with the heart and reset our values and priorities so that we move forward in a way that truly does align with the heart. And these teachings, this is like the essence of my book. So if you have questions on it or wondering what does that look like in real life and how many aspects of my life does that touch? Oh, so many. And you can learn more about them in my book, Living from the Heart, Healing Ourselves so we can heal the world. You can find that anywhere you get your print or audio book content. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in 2024.